Hi guys, in this week's episode, we are taking a little shorter episode, but it's still action-packed because I am at a writer's retreat and I introduced to you guys a new method to possibly get you focused for your writing.
And I think about becoming much meaner to my son.
Will she do it, folks? We don't know. And also, I introduce a piece of rock that might change your life. That's right. We're talking geology. Get into the episode. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Two Kims, One Pod. I'm your host, Peter Kim.
And I am Eunji Kim.
And we are the Kimmiest Kims in the pod game, baby. Just to remind you guys, November 16th is coming up in a week. It's coming up in a week. Oh my God. Well, I guess when this comes out, it won't be a week. Yeah. Damn it. Anyway, if this comes out before that, probably won't. Come to Lincoln Lodge. And if you have not come to Lincoln Lodge and you couldn't, and you're in LA, come to December 16th at the Lyric Hyperion because we're doing Two Kims One Pod live. All right. Should we get into our episode today?
Bitch, let's get into it.
All right, it's time to get into the highlights and lowlights in this week's special sexy segment called
Rock Hard Tops and Soft Flaccid Bottoms. Yeah.
My top this week is that, as you can see, I am in a different locale. I am in an Airbnb in the mountains of Lake Arrowhead in the San Bernardino. And I'm on a little writer's retreat. I've been here since Monday. Today's Wednesday, so today's the last day, and we leave tomorrow. So just like a quick, in and out.
Yeah. I mean, what is a writer's retreat? Like, you've been on a couple of these. Like, tell me, and every time I'm confused. So tell me.
Yeah, sure. It's like going on vacation, but instead of playing, you write.
But what is do you go in with a goal, like a specific project you want to finish, or is it just, okay.
100% yes. It's not I'm just gonna go up and see what happens.
Write in my journal and eat, pray, love. It's there's a specific draft and thing that you want to do.
Yeah, the way I do it, I don't know how anyone else does it, but do you want me to take you through a sample schedule?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so I've been doing this for the last 3 days, right? So our schedule is 8 a.m. wake up, not bad. Okay, that's norm, right? It's not crazy.
That's late.
Yeah. Yeah, for moms and stuff, it's probably late. But 8 a.m. for stoner writers, it's normal / early. So we wake up at 8 a.m. and then from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., so the first 2 hours, we individually / together, we do the following things.
Okay.
Coffee, shit, stretch, walk the dog, eat, kind of
settle into the day.
Settle into the morning and talk about what we're about to work on.
Okay.
What we'd like to accomplish for what I'm calling write block 1.
Okay.
Right? So the write block 1 is a 3-hour block, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah. And
you write for 3 hours. You don't get out of your seat.
No.
Only to walk around and stretch, but get back in, you know? So it's 3 hours of write. And then 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., we do the following. Lunch, take a shit, talk shit out, take a walk, pitch things to each other.
Sure.
Does this work? Does this make sense? Is this a character you like? Yada, yada, yada. And we kind of bounce off each other, right? So for an hour. And then for 2 to 4 p.m. is write block number 2.
Sure.
So it's a 2-hour block. We did a 3-hour block at first, and then now we do a 2-hour block, right? Yeah. And that's where we go in, fix things, whatever you want to do.
Capitalize.
And then from 4 to 6 p.m. 4 to 6 p.m. is free time.
Okay.
Meaning cook and prepare dinner, take the dog out for a walk, smoke a lot of weed.
Take another shit.
Yeah. Take another shit if you can pinch one out, so really time to let the 2 writing block days to just kind of marinate.
Okay.
And then from 6 to 7 p.m. is write block number 3.
You do another write block in the evening.
1 hour. So you do 3 hours, then 2 hours, then 1 hour.
Okay.
And then from 7 to 9 p.m., you eat dinner, you chill, you walk the dog, smoke some more weed, you bounce off each other, and then you stop. No more writing.
Okay.
Okay. And then you go to sleep at 9 p.m.
You go to sleep at 9?
9 p.m.
And you wake up
9:30.
at 8?
Wake up at 8. I'm sleeping like 12 hours. And here's what. You don't think you're going to be tired by 9 p.m.? Because you've been writing for 6 hours, bitch, you're ready to go to sleep. You
Yeah,
are
of course.
tired.
I'm ready to go to sleep at 9. I do that consistently.
Yeah.
Any days I don't
I'm
have
ready to go to
shows, I
sleep
like...
telling you the schedule right now. I'm tired. But
I literally at 9 o'clock very consistently go to sleep if on days I don't do shows.
Yeah, so because we're not doing anything but this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like, oh, I have a meeting, or I've had meetings here and there, and I'm doing this podcast during my lunch hour.
Okay.
And I'm going back to a write block after this. But anyway, so it's been 6 hours of writing a day, and what this like 3-2-1 does is it really like maps out the writing process. As in, like, it's hardest to get it started, right? So you have 3 hours to just kind of like shit things out and purge and whatever, like do the vomit drafting in the 3 hours. And then in the 2 hours, you're kind of like, wait, I let my brain rest, and I'm like you're writing. So much of writing, especially comedy, is problem solving. So your brain's like doing the problem solving in the background while you like walk around, take a shit, whatever, eat. And then at 2 to 4 p.m. you're going, inevitably, I'm like, oh, that's the solution. And I'm like, oh, that's the solution. And I'm like wanting to get back into my seat already because I have solutions that are popping up. So 2 to 4 p.m. I'm like fixing things.
Okay.
Right. And then by the 6 to 7 p.m. third 1 hour blitz, it almost feels like not enough time because I'm like trying to like get all this writing done, but I only have 60 minutes to get it done. And it's leaving me with this like sense of
urgency.
I want to write more. Like, because you've like narrowed down your time like that through the day. So by the time you're doing your 1 hour block, you're like, there's not enough time. I got to go. Go. You're on like go mode. So it feels so good as a writer because you're not in that mire of like second guessing your stuff and like, is this even good? Ugh, you know what I mean? You got all of that out during the first 3 hours. And by the third block, you're like just a monster at that point. Fixing things, punching up, etc. So that's been my top.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful up here. Honestly, haven't been out much just to walk the dog because I'm writing.
How much are you writing? How much have you finished? How many pages?
I just finished my 32nd page. I just finished the pilot.
So but this is a second draft of that pilot, right?
This is a rewrite of a pilot that I wrote a long time ago.
Right.
Pre-strike.
Uh-huh.
And I have been like really slow to rewrite.
But so you already had pages.
But it was a complete rewrite.
Oh, really?
Yes. There was nothing of the old stuff so it was a page one rewrite.
Damn.
So I did 31 pages.
Even in the outline, like you didn't retain any of that stuff. You just went straight. You
I
started
had to redo everything.
You blue skied from blue sky to page.
Yeah, because
3 days.
Did I keep anything? I didn't keep anything. I only kept the main two characters. I cut all the other characters. I completely changed the ensemble. I changed the story, the pilot story. I changed their. The only thing I kept was like their dynamic, but that was like esoteric. It was not like it was written down.
Right.
I didn't keep any joke. I didn't keep any like plot device.
So
nothing.
No, like just the character. I'm just thinking about it as
just
like
the main two characters.
So I'm just thinking like even as a pitch deck. So like just those parts, and everything was a page one rewrite. And you did that in 3 fucking days, 32 pages, and you have this screenplay.
No. What screenplay? The horror comedy?
Yeah.
I didn't even start on that. Okay. I've just been working on the pilot.
Okay. But that's crazy in 3 days.
18 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you break it down that way, it's
30
crazy.
pages.
Yeah.
It's not that many pages. Like, if you really think about it, it's not the number of pages that's the issue. It's
It's
like
the number of
the world
Adderall
building.
pills you need to take to finish.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to say, I feel like I'm on Adderall.
Right. What?
Because I'm like, I think it's this 3-2-1 thing. I really do.
You like a 3-2-1. You like the Pomodoro method. You like the
Exactly.
Yes, you do.
Exactly.
You like that sort of like whittling
I like
away
a triangle.
Towards. Yes. It's the strongest shape in nature.
Yes, a funnel.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's a
Yeah.
V. Oh wait, that's not the right.
Yeah, it's the V. It's the V. It's the divine V.
That's not the right motion for that around my mouth, but okay, crazy. What a high.
That's been great. What a high. Like, truly a high, and like really happy and like fulfilled by the writing. It's not like I'm slogging through it just to get it out like an assignment. Like, I'm really like, because it's on spec. No one's asking me to write this. Like, I'm writing it because I want to. So I'm hopefully it'll get sold somewhere, but like, if not, it's fine. Like, I wrote it and it felt great, and like it felt great to really like go from zero.
Yeah, I'm astounded and impressed. Like, I'm often impressed with you, but this one I'm like really impressed.
I had to. The old stuff wasn't helping me.
Sure,
it was like.
Not being precious about stuff is really the best gift you can give yourself as a writer.
Exactly.
Like, just be like, I give myself that gift only by virtue of the fact that I forget everything. So it's always new to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's incredible. That's like, being productive is really,
It's crazy. It's like a drug. It is a drug.
Yes.
Like, feeling productive, there's nothing like it. I'm like, I feel like I'm on cocaine, like Adderall. I'm just like, what else can I do? I can do anything. You know, like, it feels like that. It's like nuts.
And having focus and clarity, like,
focus.
Wow. Yes.
Okay, that's going to come back later. But anyway, my bottom is that because my mind's been so put to use, like, in the last 3 days, I haven't been sleeping that well. Also, it's like the change of scenery I'm up in the mountains, and it's thinner, but I'm like twisting and turning, and I keep getting up at 4 a.m. exactly. So odd. I go
your
to sleep
body
at
can
like
only handle
9:30.
8 hours. Because your body can really only handle like 8 hours of sleep.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, I get up at 4 and then I can't fall back. I'm like twisting and turning. And like,
what adult is sleeping 12? I mean, that's a teen. You know what I mean? One of my friends has been really trying to sleep a ton, and she was saying that she's actually feels like she's gotten taller. I don't know if she told me that to like try to entice me to get away from my
try to sleep. You're the opposite though. You don't get any sleep.
I don't get any sleep, and I don't mind.
You're shrinking.
I'm shrinking. I'm withering away. Yeah. I mean, I've always been not a big sleeper though. Since I'm like a 5 to 6. As I got older, I feel like I need 6 to 7.
I think older. But as you get older, you sleep less, I feel.
Yes, but I never slept well. So I think I'm kind of reaching some sort of like normal person equilibrium. So like when you say that you've been getting up at 4:30, what's been happening between 4:30 and the actual wake time?
I'm like twisting and turning, and I'll like dip back into like a sleep, and then get right back up or right before 7.
Okay.
And my wake up time is 8, so I'm like open. I'm wide awake at 7, and just like, okay, should I like get up? And then nowadays I've just been getting up and like making coffee and like just getting this day started at 7 instead of 8.
Sure.
Which is so crazy to me because that's not my normal. Like, I'm the type of person to like push everything till like late. Yes. But now because I'm in this mode, sans drugs, BTW, this is what like Pfizer is giving you via like Ritalin or whatever the fuck. Like I'm smoking weed too. Let me tell you, I'm not smoking weed. I'm smoking weed and I'm staying fucking focused, so much so that I'm getting tired at 9 p.m. and I'm waking up before my alarm clock in a like almost a tizzy to get started. Does that make sense?
Are you off social medias right now? Like, are you not on your phone when you're working?
Not on my phone. I'm actually working. I'm writing.
So, I mean, do you think that's a part of it? The fact that you're able to go to sleep and stay focused is just like the lack of phone?
Maybe.
Because that's a huge part of it for me. Like, I lock up my phone in the mornings, and it's helped my morning productivity insofar as not actually doing anything, but like remaining focused to the morning and getting people out. Everything moves more fluidly.
Interesting.
And like any fuck ups are not because of distraction or like being consumed by stuff. I wake up and I feel more connected to the world and to my family and to my body. That's
probably part of it. It's not like I've been trying to get off of social media. It's that I just don't have any time to devote to it because I'm keeping myself to such a tight schedule that there's no like room for just farting around. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, and I keep thinking like, how do I bring this back to my real life? Because it's easy to do that when you're on a quote retreat because the entire time you're there is dedicated to this thing.
Right.
But in your normal life, that just doesn't work because your normal life is jazz. Like things happen, things pop up. You got to pick something like something went wrong and you have to return this. That pushes your day forward. Like you can't have this like structured kind of thing, like 6 hours of writing structure. I mean, like that's.
I mean, people do that.
How do they have a life outside of that? Like it's got to be tough.
They have a supportive wife.
Yeah, and I don't. Trust me, my wife is very angry. My wife is upset.
So is mine.
Should we leave them?
Yes. I mean, like, I think from at least like the people that I know that held this like super rigorous writing schedule, like kind of famous people like Stephen King and Hemingway, like people that are notorious for maintaining very rigid and structured writing schedules. That's what they had. They had really supportive people that kind of controlled and took care of their life for them.
Yeah.
And they did this. But I think there's a part of it where it's like, as long as the reality is, if this is your full-time job, you could technically do 3 days on, 2 days off during the week. Right? Because it's something about, it's like the consecutive part of it. It's like, day on, day off is not good.
That does not work.
If you could do like
it
just
needs
like
to
you
be
have. Yeah.
So
if you do the 3 days in a row, maybe.
Oh, interesting.
Or even do,
like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then
Thursday, Friday.
You leave off. And
or it could be 3, 2, 1 even.
Something's got to have. So I got to bring something back to my real life because this has been so helpful, and I've been feeling so productive and purposeful.
Yeah,
because it is like even me and Mike during our lunch times. It's like the lunch is in order to have sustained energy for the next boost of 2 hours of writing. You know what I mean? It's like everything is towards creation. That one thing. So. It's incredible. It feels so amazing to feel focused. And I know tomorrow it's going to be sucky to go back home and be like, okay, I could do 3 hours now, but like, what else is happening? You know, like, so I'm really going to try to like plant it back into my real life, even if it's like not a 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, but like 2 hour, 1 hour, half hour.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or like something more manageable that I could fit into my life every day. I think I really do. I have to. And I know this is so stupid. Like, duh, you have to. It's your job. Why aren't you treating it like a job? But it's writing. It's the hardest thing to like
fuck off. Anybody
get
that's
focused.
ever has anyone have you ever tried to write a 5-page paper about a book you've read? Like, I mean, like it's shut the fuck up. Like,
most of the time it's about books I didn't read and I'm bullshitting.
I mean, like it's writing is so incredibly difficult, but
it's so hard.
The 10
it's so
to
hard
1
to get started.
Yes, but the 10 to 1, and as long as like I feel like the first 5 hour arc, like the morning routine, and then the 10 to 1 of it all, like is sacred. And as long as you kind of manage that for a certain number of days or make it a priority, and then like in the back half, if it's like like you were saying, like 3 1 half hour or 3, and then
Yeah.
try to figure out the edits at the back of the day in the late
Back of the
afternoon.
day,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if it's like
It's
3,
really necessary to have that 3.
yes,
That initial 3 of like
Powerful
giving
number.
yourself permission
Yes.
to be so bad and
Mm-hmm.
shitty and unpolished and gross and basic or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like all the stuff that we judge ourselves and judge others for,
Mm-hmm.
that's the time to do that. So that when you go back in your back half of the day, you can be a ninja and like,
Oh, and also like writing basic stuff is like that. Even that is a skill. Like, that can't be underestimated at all.
the most difficult to do.
Absolutely. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, where did this word come? I mean, yes, it is difficult to even disavow yourself of like censoring yourself or self-editing as you're writing, that sort of stuff.
The saboteur, honey.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really inspirational. So you haven't been sleeping. That's the down. That's the low for
That is
you.
the down. That is.
But
I think
even
my,
then, you're
my
waking
mind
up.
is just racing.
But then you're waking up and rejuvenated. That's not even a fucking low. Shut up.
It is a low because I love to sleep. I love to sleep.
Okay, so my high was, God, listening to this is really making me feel away. I did a show. I did this big gala, and it was very fun. I will say that it was one of the best kind of gala fundraiser, like one of these events that I've ever done, because it was the people there. This is the thing. What's happening now in this culture, and you saw it with the gig that you did in San Antonio, is that the nonprofit and fundraising game is kind of becoming younger. Like the demographic, they're not, okay, how about this? They're not actually getting younger. We're the same age.
Okay.
Like, it turns out
We're getting older.
We're getting older.
Okay.
It turns out that other people continue to make regular amounts of money throughout their 20s, 30s, and 40s and have accrued wealth. And they're choosing to go to these fundraisers. But it was it was fun, and it was not stodgy in a way that was like, it was really fun. And the show was really fun. There were a lot of like drag queens. I'm doing a lot of these kind of
cool.
Yeah, like queer, like I was talking to my students about what alt comedy was, and I was feeling it, I was in a way, and I was kind of like, I feel like alt comedy is a very era specific kind of terminology that came out of a place and a time where like club comedy, and there was like a distinct difference. And now with the rise of internet comedy, I'm just like, is someone alt if they are like smashing pancakes down their pants and doing stuff if they have 4 million TikTok followers? Like, is that alt?
I see what you're saying. Like what does alt mean? Does it mean countercultural?
And what's countercultural now? I mean, like, is
anything that's not pop, anything that's not popular.
But everything is so niche now. There is no monoculture.
Well, niche, I think, is counterculture.
Interesting.
Is mono. You don't think there's monoculture anymore?
Absolutely not.
I think everything just gets fed into the monoculture. Once it gets to a certain point.
Kumail Nanjiani was in a Marvel movie. He was
he's
a part
monoculture.
now, but he was
He was alt comedy in Chicago. Yeah, but you phase. It's like how you start as a Democrat and you die as a Republican. Like that's
You hope.
That's the fucking. That's what happens. You make money and
you
you're like,
hope.
fuck the gays. Yeah. That's why you and I don't make money. That's why money doesn't stick to us. All right.
Because we choose to be true
We
to our
choose
alt
to be
roots.
exactly. It can't, because once it's going to change us.
'Cause
And
we-
we are resistant to change.
And so, but yeah, I was thinking that ultimately, I think the way that I would assign alt comedy now would be like something that's hyper local and like in a different, because like if you're hyper local and you're of a place, that means by definition you cannot be a part of the monoculture or a larger culture or even a part of the famous internet culture, because you're just from here and it's like a local kind of thing. Like that's type of that to me felt alt, and also queer and camp comedy still feels very alt to me. But yeah, it was really fun. It was a great show. And it was one of those things where, you know, there is just something about mentally unwell white women that I am like moths to a
Drawn
flame.
to?
Like moths
Oh.
to a flame. They're just
It's like a Spanish fly, honey.
yeah. No, that's not a Spanish fly.
You're drinking that up.
And then they're being knocked out. That's a Bill Cosby thing.
Is it? Oh, I think it just made you
Yes.
horny. Is it a? Oh, it's a date rape drug. Oh, okay. Well, not that, but
Yeah.
Mentally
but yeah.
unwell white women. I feel like that's just writ large the internet. Like that's. I feel like that's like most of our culture right now. Like who's mentally stable?
Yeah, I mean, truly, in a way. But yeah, that was that, and along with, I finally got it together enough to go back to therapy. So that was a very good high point.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
be able to beat out some things with a third party and stop.
Hopefully they're mentally stable.
And she is.
Oh, good.
She's.
Oh my God, we love.
She's like has a healthy level of skepticism to everything I say. And she's not impressed with me. It is
You
so.
need that. You love that.
I do.
Yes.
I need that. I love
you
that.
You know, I fired my therapist because he started looking at my videos, and I was like, "You need to go.
You don't do
you
that.
need to go."
I don't
That's
need
that's an intimacy that I did not ask for from you.
And we don't want a fan. We don't
No.
need. I don't need that. Like I need
No.
someone very specifically to tell me what's what. And
Yeah.
if I think it's also unhealthy for someone to go to a mental health professional looking for that.
Looking for a fan.
Looking for a fan. Looking for someone who is going to.
How much of therapy today or modern therapy do you think is that?
80%.
As opposed to like 80%, right?
Yes.
It's most, right?
Yes. It's someone
like it's gotten vogue, and now they're like, just tell me what I want to hear.
It's literally a third party. You're paying someone to like
Give
your
you
opinion.
affirmations.
Yes. Like it's not enough that your friends are probably doing it. You also need a stranger.
Maybe their friends aren't.
That's very. I don't think. And like, otherwise, these young people would be, excommunicating. They love
That's
to cut
true.
toxic people out of their lives.
I recently heard that company BetterHelp is getting sued.
They should.
Did you hear about that? Oh, you knew about this? How they're like hiring like unlicensed therapists because the demand got too big after the pandemic? Did you hear about this?
No, but I'm not surprised.
People are getting like jank ass therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
there are
I took
tons of people getting
a course on YouTube, and then they like signed them up, and then now they're
I'm
like
a
texting with
universal
them.
life minister, and so
That's I am. Church of Universal Life.
So I mean, there are bad therapists doing real therapy.
Everywhere, I guess. But I
Everywhere.
mean, like, in lieu of real therapists, because they got so much demand over the pandemic, that like they had to hire all these like non-accredited people.
For sure.
I like because BetterHelp. There's like tiers. Like you could just do a text-based thing. It might not even be a person. It might just be a chat bot.
I mean, the chatbot might actually be
A
better
therapy
at
chatbot.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to look up your fucking YouTube videos.
And
Anyway,
be engaged
what-
in something bad. Oh,
Yeah.
and my low would be, sometimes I really do. I am humbled in a way where I feel like I was. Okay, this is a dark thought that I had, but I'm not saying that I want to start. I would never hit my child. Let me just start off by saying this.
I love how this is starting.
I'm not saying
That's what my abusive father used to start with.
I never want to. I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this. You are making
me do this.
do this. You are forcing my hand across your face.
I'm not saying that I ever will. There's no part of me that wants to or will. I just don't think it's in me at this point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's
Well,
almost
your
as tall
son's
as me.
too big.
Yeah, he's tall as me. So
No, yeah, you'll hurt yourself.
But there was this moment where he is just not. Peter, I looked at him and there was this moment I got vulnerable with him as a parent, and I was like, dude, I look at you, and at the same age I was making rice for dinner, right? Like you made your rice, you set the dinner table, like I did my own homework, I woke up, brushed my teeth. Like there was very little adult intervention that was not punitive or about pressure or like discipline. Like I was going, right? I was operating, and I'm looking at a boy whose ass I recently wiped, and I was like,
why did you wipe his ass?
He was sick. To be fair, he was sick. But like it was just
what does that mean? How sick were his hands broken? Like how
he
sick
just
do you have to be to not be able to wipe ass?
His stomach was really hurting. His stomach was like he was cramping up and he was having diarrhea. So it was like crazy. So whatever. To be fair, in his defense, while I am roasting him, in his defense,
okay,
I did wipe his ass recently. So I was just like, there's this moment where I'm looking at him like, I don't know if I'm helping you. Like, I don't know
Hold on for a second. Can we go back to the wiping the ass? Is he on the toilet and you're coming and rolling up a thing of paper and then wiping his ass on the toilet?
Yes.
Why? I just don't understand why
because
you need to interfere.
Because he had already tried, and it was so much diarrhea, and it was he wound up having to go into the shower. It was like crazy. He was sick. He was sick.
It was a messy situation.
It was a messy situation that he could not, and he was like upset about it, and like blah blah blah. But,
okay, because I'm imagining him like on the toilet pooping, and then going like, Mom, I can't even lift the paper. I don't know why you are there.
I'm not there.
But, okay, this makes sense.
He was having issues. He was getting upset. Yes. And he wound up having to go into the shower anyway.
You were doing the aftermath
of. Yes. Trying to do some additional adult level kind of dexterity cleanup. He wound up going into the shower. But I'm just saying, I looked at him and was like, I don't know if I'm doing anything. I'm doing you a service by not giving you any pressure. Yeah, no, but like not giving you any pressure or like telling you like I am doing the absolute inverse, all love, all affirmation and this stuff. And I was like, I don't know if this is better. When if you look at our peers, even Peter, that have these kinds of relationships with their parents, people who talk to them all the time, people who are friends with their parents, who go on vacations with their parents, like who never got hit.
Talk to their parents on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But these people. Like there's a lot of these people in our lives in this generation, millennial, Gen Z. They love their parents. They have good relationships with their parents. I don't know of those people who's happy. Name one person that's happy. That's like
Who's happy? Who's happy?
This is what I'm saying. No one is happier. Happy. No one is happier. No one is more successful. No one is richer than their parents that are like, nothing is better in their lives because
you're saying you're having a hard time justifying showing unconditional love to your son because it's not going to end up with him being happier. No, so you feel like you're wasting your time.
No, I'm giving him unconditional love. That is base level. I'm saying that there might be something to being a little afraid of your parents. Like respect.
100.
Respect. 100. Like in a way that's like, don't look for me to fix your problems because you don't trust that you're afraid of a little bit of what my judgment. Like not getting hit, none of that sort of stuff, but you should be afraid.
Like not being best friends with your kid.
Absolutely. I am a governing body, bitch. You want to keep secrets from me. Like you want to impress.
You need to be authority. Yes. And how do you do that? How do you do that?
At this point, I just wiped this guy's
boundaries, you can't do it. You wiped his ass and you're like besties.
This is And so it was a low point, and then I'm looking at him and I'm being really frank about it, and he kind of looked at me and was like, "Oh no, this is the level of therapized sort of affirmation that's happening in the schools and in parenting now." He looked at me and was like, "Oh no, you need to have more confidence in yourself. You're a good mom." Do you know what I mean? He was like, looked at me, and I feel like I am like really.
He's trying to assure you that like you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah.
And-
I'm great, and you're great.
Like,
so
what's-
believe in yourself, bitch. What's wrong?
And I'm trying to tear him down, and he's like so impervious to it. He's like, "Oh no, like self-confidence will fix us all." And it's like,
yeah, like. Just stop second guessing yourself and wasting both of our times, Mom.
you're doing
Why
a
don't
great
you
job.
lie down? I'll set the table.
No, he's not. I mean, so like it was just.
But I
this
think
was
you're
a
right.
bug.
I think there is a sense of I don't know how to do it. I don't have kids, but if I had kids, I would be, I think, like you in trying to avoid repeating the mistakes. I would be doing the most the other way. But I will say there is a point like, okay, I have a dog, which is not a kid, but a proxy. There are points I love my dog so much unconditionally, whatever, but there are points when I'm like, come here.
Yes.
And he's just looking at me like this, like, what you gonna do, bitch? You gonna hit me?
Yeah.
So it's like that moment, I think that's what you're kind of talking about is like, am I your mother or your sycophant? That's kind of like the line. And I do believe that if I had a child, I would need to draw boundaries.
Oh.
In meaning, I'm not your friend.
No.
I'm not one of your boys.
No.
Okay? And you're going to come correct. And I don't know how this is going to happen without me yelling, screaming, or hitting, but we'll figure it out. I'll have to do some mental gymnastics, but
this is the issue
I
because
hope my kid is stupider than I am so that I stay like a step ahead of him.
It's like it is. Thankfully, we hope that he's dumber than us, but because it only lasts for a certain amount of time. He's 7. He's gonna figure things out eventually, but and he's getting there.
You have 5 years to figure this out, or you're done.
3.
Oh yeah. 3. I guess so. Yeah. Once he gets his first pubic hair, you're out of there.
I'm out of
you're
there.
done.
It's just like he is. There's like. I am stricter than a lot of the people in his like other peers of his. I am stricter. Like he is. When I threw away all of his gifts when he was 6, you know what I mean? His birthday presents, like he was like, we're going back and forth. And I was like, so you want me to give these all away? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And he came to me like that. And I was like, okay. And I threw them all away. Like that was his first time where he was like, oh.
Consequence.
Yeah, Amma doesn't play. And he knows that. But it's like outside of those kind of consequences, like how to sustain, this is like the dreary drudgery of like parenting, like the day to day.
You might need to make up a little bit of struggle or something. You know what I mean? Like
something.
Find some like Sandy Hook paid actors or something to like.
Oh my God. I think that I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
This bitch. I can tell you've been in the mountains writing.
Yeah. I'm going crazy. All right. Today we had to shorten our episode because we don't have that much time. So
we're going to
sorry.
straight into,
We're going to go right into, it's that time, our final segment in which we introduce something we're absolutely obsessed with.
Yes.
It's time to sit back and, bitch, get into it. All right, bitch, get into this. So going back to the focus of it all, call me whatever you want. I did... Once I moved out to LA, starting in Chicago, but like ish to LA, I really started getting into crystals. I know I'm that bitch. Sue me.
You've always been witchy.
I've always been witchy. I've always been like spiritual.
Yeah.
There is I want to recommend a rock today that has really. No, listen. That has really helped me focus. And
Okay.
I bring this to every writer's retreat.
Oh.
I have not gone to any writer's retreat without this rock. And I have not written any pilot without this rock.
Okay.
Okay? Here's what it is. It's called pyrite. We all know what this
Yes.
is. It's fool's gold.
Yeah.
But usually you get it in like little chunks or whatever, and then you kind of like put it around. You're supposed to like, it's supposed to be good for focus and work and, you know, abundance and whatever, right?
Yes.
But you just kind of like put it around your computer, let's say, and you forget that it's there because it's like out of sight, right? But the whole point is to like be able to see it, to feel the energy of it. So
The point of it's to see it?
yeah, because if it's like tiny little like crystals or rocks and you like put it around your computer or something, like your eye might miss it because you're staring at a screen or whatever.
Okay.
So I ended up buying a huge chunk of pyrite.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
It's as big as your fucking face.
It's huge. It's super heavy. And how much I paid? I think I paid like $70 for this.
Wow.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a fucking rock. But
Yes.
here's what. Yeah, I put it next to my computer, and you can't miss this thing. Look at how big this
No.
is.
Yes.
Huge, right?
It's
and when
so
you carry it in
big.
your book bag, you feel the weight of it.
You packed that.
I packed this. It's huge. Look at it. You know in Parasite where they in the
Yes.
beginning where they give that rock and it's
Yes.
like, wow, so metaphoric, right?
Yes.
I know what that meant because there's something metaphoric about a rock this size, and that's pyrite, which is supposed to be for like abundance and
Yeah.
focus. It's really good for focus. Like you put it next to your computer and I'm like writing all day. And it's not just this 3-2-1 this retreat from this week. I've taken this to I've written multiple projects with this.
Where is it
So
in
if
your
you
house?
are looking for a write,
Okay, but I just got. Where is it in your house when you're not on a retreat?
it's near my like little altar.
Oh, okay.
I have like an altar for like an abundance altar or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I know it's crazy. It's so big. Look at it. It weighs like it's heavy. You could like really do some damage if you like drop this on your foot or something. But it's shiny, the gold flakes. It really does like bounce the light off. And there's something about it being like this. It's fake gold, but it's fool's gold actually. But the gold of it, there's something about gold and the flecks of gold. I don't know what it is. It really just like energizes me and makes me go like, bitch, let's get into it. Let's go. Get into your future, get into your bag, get into your money, and get into your
Yes.
gig.
That's really it. Like it's the sparkle and the promise of something shiny and bright and like
It reminds
gold.
you why you're focusing.
Right.
Yeah.
That is. Oh God. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, get
Yeah.
that rock. Get that rock if you want.
Yeah, some focus. Try it out. It's $75. If it doesn't work, give it as a gift, whatever. But or like, you know, save it as whatever for yourself. But I really do. It really does work for me.
Okay. I'm gonna look up pyrite. Huge
Yeah,
chunks
chunk.
of pyrite.
Go to Etsy. They sell it on Etsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just ordered this, and this is coming off of a recommendation of a friend, and it just arrived, so I'm gonna recommend it, even though I haven't tried it myself. But it's called an acupressure mat and pillow set. It's on Amazon.
Oh, I know these.
It's $26, and she said that what she does is she just lays on it for like 10 to 15 minutes before bed, and that it like helps her sleep. Like you
wow.
wake up with like less pressure, it's just the laying on it before you go to sleep, and that for some reason it improves sleeps. I mean, if your sleep is improved, that helps the rest of your day, period. And then in the morning she lays on it too.
Oh yeah.
And stretches.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
I mean, that's
yeah,
what
I've
it
seen
is.
those. I've been wanting to get into those. I'm gonna look
because
it
it's
up
like
on-
it's stuff like this where you just like you can put it next to your bed that you can
And
just
do it right before?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
appealing to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish I had that with me right now because it'll help me sleep.
I mean, you
Oh,
are
yeah, yeah.
sleeping.
I am sleeping. I'm just like waking up at 4 for some reason. It's so crazy. Why?
Because it's
4?
crazy to sleep 12 hours.
I don't
you're
think so. I
not-
do
if-
it all the time at home.
If you're not a growing boy, you do not need 12 hours of sleep. I'm sorry to say.
It's depression.
Yes.
All right. Well, go check out the acupressure pad, and also check out your chunks of pyrite. Get your focus on and get your projects done, folks. The holidays are around the corner, so
Yes.
get into it.
Get into it.
All right. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.